United States
support
manufacturing.
Trump's tariff policies?
Yes.
Mr. Kissinger, do you support Trump's tariff policies? Mr. Kissinger? Do you support Trump's tariff policies as he's implemented it?
I am not an expert on tariff policies.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to True Voice. If you believe in real American values, not corporate handouts, not billionaire bootlicking, but actually standing up for working families, labor rights, and American manufacturing, then this one's for you. Today, we're breaking down the powerful, brutally honest grilling by Congressman Khanna during a recent hearing on industrial policy and tariffs. And folks, it is wild. Let me say this up front. I am a left-wing patriot. I believe in this country, not as a playground for the ultra-rich, but as a nation that should invest in its people, its workers, and its future. And when I see corporate-friendly experts come to Congress and refuse to answer basic questions about policies that affect millions of American jobs, I have a problem with that. Let's watch the video.
Recognize Mr. Khanna from California for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Power, I appreciated your testimony and your focus on innovation, your focus on stabilizing demand, on building capacity. I noticed, even though you're here as a Republican called witness, there was a word missing in your testimony, the beautiful word of tariffs. I assume by that omission, you don't think that President Trump's tariff strategy is working in building advanced manufacturing here.
Thank you for the question, Congressman. We're not really impacted by tariffs, and it's hard for me to comment on it directly in this hearing because our entire supply chain is regulated, that we have to have everything from raw materials and everything onshore. So for United States companies that serve the defense market, we don't really buy anything offshore, and it's hard for me to comment directly.
Mr. Power, you're certainly a thoughtful person. I mean, if the president asked you, do you think his tariff policy is working to bring advanced manufacturing in the United States, would you answer yes or no?
I think we're starting to see countries come to the table and negotiate, but my perspective is purely China-focused.
But do you think his policy is working in terms of the way he's implemented the tariff policies?
I think we're going to start to see tariffs work over the next 90 to 100 days as things settle down.
You support his tariff policy?
I think tariff policy that means China cannot hide manufactured goods going through other countries.
I'm not asking you theoretically. I'm saying the way the president's gone about the tariff policy. Do you support it or not?
Yes, largely I support tariff policies
Kissinger,
to reassure United States
support
manufacturing.
Trump's tariff policies?
Yes.
Mr. Kissinger, do you support Trump's tariff policies? Mr. Kissinger? Do you support Trump's tariff policies as he's implemented it?
I am not an expert on tariff policies, and I would tell you, I am an expert, if I may finish.
You know, I noticed none of the Republican witnesses mentioned tariffs, the beautiful word tariffs. Here he is on a manufacturing industrial policy. The three Republican experts are recommending everything but tariffs. Everything but tariffs. Your testimony didn't have tariffs, correct?
I am an expert on enabling advanced manufacturing scale-up in the United States and not on tariffs.
Tariff in it, your opening testimony?
Of course not. I didn't come to testify on
Mr. Power,
tariffs.
did your testimony have any word tariff in it?
No, sir. We're asked to testify on
Mr.
bringing
Bishop,
advanced manufacturers back to the United
Did your testimony
States.
have anything to say with tariffs in it?
No.
So the three Republican witnesses come to a hearing on industrial policy, and none of them mentioned the word tariff, not a single one. And yet all Donald Trump is doing is tariff policy when the three Republican witnesses are recommending 100 different things other than tariff policy. Mr. Bishop, do you agree with Donald Trump's tariff policy?
I'm not here as an economic expert.
You're all saying you're not here as an economic expert, and yet you're giving us all these recommendations for how we build an industrial base. Is it that you don't have any expertise and we should just pick up any random citizen, or are you here as some economic expertise on industrial policy?
Is that for me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I misspoke on this. I mean, on tariffs, this is just not one of the, I mean, like these guys as well, we're focused on building companies here.
But I don't understand how
there
you
is
don't have the President of the United States is saying the way to build manufacturing is to have these tariff policies. You're here to testify on manufacturing, how we're going to build it. And you're telling me you don't have an opinion on whether the Trump tariff policy is successful or not?
We're here to represent private industry, people who are actually building companies, not people who are theoretical.
This is not a theoretical matter. He's implemented tariffs. I'm not even trying to trick you. I'm saying, do you agree with all his tariff policies or do you disagree with them? Or are you so afraid that you don't know what to say?
I think all of us have been really clear. We're here to, this is not what we're here to talk about.
But do you agree with it or disagree with it? Yes or no? I mean, you could say either things.
I have the same position as these guys. We're here to
Which
talk
is-
about how to incentivize more manufacturing and industrial
Right, but do you
jobs.
think that the president's tariff policies are doing that or not?
I think it's a mix. I think what you're,
It's
as
a
Chris
mix, so
said,
some of it is correct and some of it is wrong?
Well, what-
You think some of Trump's tariff policies haven't worked?
no, I'm saying I agree with actually what Chris was saying, is that what we've seen so far has been, and what we're going to be seeing over the next 90 to 100 days has been really interesting, especially as more countries are coming back to the table. But I can't tell the
All three
future.
of you are so afraid of criticizing Donald Trump that even though you don't mention tariffs in any of your testimonies, none of you are willing to say that this policy is totally backfiring.
I just don't want to try to predict the near future. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what's going on in the minds of the counterparties in other countries, and I think this is an inappropriate place to be asked.
Inappropriate to ask you about tariff policy in a manufacturing hearing when that's the president's policy? Anyway, my time has expired.
So Khanna, Democrat from California, gets 5 minutes, and instead of wasting time with pleasantries, he gets right to it. He asks a Republican-invited witness, Mr. Power, a simple question. Do you support Trump's tariffs? Yes or no? And what follows is 5 minutes of Olympic-level dodging from witnesses. I mean, seriously, these guys twisted themselves into pretzels trying to avoid giving a straight answer. Why? Because deep down, they know the policy is failing, but they're too scared to say it out loud. Now here's what really gets me. Khanna points out that not one of the Republican witnesses, not a single one, mentioned the word tariffs in their prepared statements. This is a hearing about U.S. industrial policy. Trump's entire strategy was centered on tariffs, and yet none of these so-called experts wanted to even mention them? That's not oversight. That's political cowardice. You can't come to a hearing on how to rebuild America's manufacturing base and pretend tariffs don't exist. That's the GOP playbook. Distract, deflect, and dodge responsibility while the working class pays the price. These witnesses all claimed they're not economic experts on tariffs, but somehow they're still there to testify about how to rebuild American manufacturing. Sorry, but you can't have it both ways. If you're advising Congress on how to revive our industrial base, you should have a position on the single most defining trade policy of the last decade. Khanna calls it out directly, and he's right. This isn't about theoretical policy. These tariffs have been implemented. They've caused price increases, retaliation from China, and confusion for small businesses. And these witnesses, many representing private industry, won't say if they think it's working. Look, as someone on the left who loves this country, I believe we can and should bring manufacturing back, but not through ham-fisted, isolationist stunts like Trump's tariffs. What we need is a comprehensive industrial strategy built around public investment, worker empowerment, innovation, and environmental sustainability. Tariffs alone, especially the way Trump used them, are a blunt instrument. They were poorly targeted, poorly negotiated, and often used as a political stunt rather than part of a serious economic plan. But instead of engaging in that real debate, these Republican witnesses, brought in to defend Trump's vision, dodged the topic entirely. Why? Because deep down, they know Trump's approach isn't working. This is why we need more leaders like Khanna. He's not afraid to call out the BS. He's not afraid to demand accountability, even when it's uncomfortable. He understands that rebuilding American industry requires truth, courage, and policy rooted in reality, not MAGA fairy tales. And that's what being a Democrat is about. It's about building an economy that works for the people, not just for the donors and CEOs. It's about standing up for American workers with smart policy, not slogans. So hats off to Khanna for holding the line, for demanding answers, for refusing to let witnesses coast through a hearing on talking points while avoiding the core issue. And to those of you watching, don't let anyone tell you that patriotism means blind loyalty. Real patriotism means asking hard questions. It means demanding better. And it means never being afraid to stand up for working people, even when it's politically inconvenient. Thanks for watching. If you like this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Do tariffs help or hurt? And what kind of industrial policy do you want to see for America's future? Stay strong, stay informed,